On our broadcast here this Monday night, the feds hit Toyota with the maximum possible fine for those defective gas pedals. Is this just the beginning? Game on. Tiger Woods gets ready for the Masters and meets the press, but not every question was answered. Shake up. A powerful earthquake hit Southern California across a huge area. How bad was it, and what's to come? And the underdogs, they seemingly came out of nowhere tonight. They play for all the marbles, and now you will know their name. Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a breaking news story out of West Virginia, where there's been an accident, an apparent explosion in a coal mine. Getting coal out of the ground is a daily part of life in that part of the country. Our need for electricity demands it, and great danger comes with it. And it appears disaster has struck the mining industry yet again. We'll begin with our own Ron Allen, who's been following this story since very first word of the possible loss of life and miners trapped underground. Ron, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. It's very difficult to tell at this hour exactly what has happened, but clearly an explosion in a coal mine could be a very difficult and deadly situation. At this hour, there are reports of some 21 miners unaccounted for in a place called Whitesville, West Virginia. The mine is run by the Performance Coal Company. We're talking about its Upper Big Branch mine. The explosion happened sometime around 3:30 Eastern Time. Emergency crews and state investigators are racing to the scene to figure out exactly what has happened. Families of the miners are also certainly hoping for the best possible news and no doubt fearing the worst and gathering at this hour for word about the situation. Coal mines like this one in West Virginia tend to be in very close-knit communities where generations of families have worked the mine, sometimes the only good solid work available in the area. Again, at this hour, it's unknown exactly how many are trapped, how many may be injured, and how many may have perished in what's been described as some sort of explosion at a coal mine in West Virginia. Again, reports of 21 unaccounted for. Brian?
Ron Allen on this still breaking story from our New York studios tonight. Ron, thanks. The Transportation Department announced today it's hitting Toyota with a fine for failing to report accelerator problems to safety officials in a timely manner. And they're hitting the company for the maximum amount allowable. Our report tonight from Phil LeBeau.
6 months after Toyota first learned of a problem with sticky gas pedals, the Japanese automaker is facing. Brian?
Phil LeBeau in our Chicago newsroom tonight. Phil, thanks for that. We have an update tonight on a continuing American spectacle. Tiger Woods has decided to come back to the game of golf. He's in the Masters tournament, and so to avoid getting hounded by questions, today he took questions instead from selected members of the media. Our report from NBC's Kerry Sanders in Augusta, Georgia.
Tiger Woods back on the course today with friendly fans. Just about everyone following him during practice held a camera to record the moment. Inside the clubhouse at his first press conference since his car accident last fall, only selected media, mostly sports reporters, who followed his career were allowed access. And Tiger spoke first about his fans.
Coming into today, I didn't know what to expect with regards to reception, and I tell you what, the galleries couldn't be nicer. I mean, it was just incredible.
He would not say if the sleeping medication Ambien played a part in the Thanksgiving weekend car accident.
Well, the police investigated the accident, and they cited me $166. And it's a closed case.
And he would not define what sort of therapy he's been in.
That's personal. Thank you.
But he did share how his secret life cost him.
I missed my son's first birthday, and that hurts. And that hurts a lot. Something I regret, and I probably will for the rest of my life.
For the first time, Tiger Woods did answer some nagging questions. Did he use performance-enhancing drugs for an ACL knee injury and a torn Achilles tendon?
I've never taken any illegal drug ever.
His Canadian doctor, Anthony Galea, is under federal investigation for allegedly distributing performance-enhancing drugs to other athletes. Is Tiger participating in that probe?
Well, full cooperation whenever they need me, but as of right now, they haven't asked, for my time.
I think he owes people some sort of an explanation of what happened and why he wound up flat on his back in the street outside his house, barefoot at 2:30 in the morning.
Other sports analysts say the news today was not what Tiger Woods said, rather that he spoke at all. The competition here begins on Thursday. If Tiger Woods makes it to the finals and wins the Masters, the one person who will not be here with him, his wife Elin. Brian?
Kerry Sanders in Augusta, Georgia for us tonight. Kerry, thanks. A lot of people on the West Coast are being warned tonight to be ready. President Obama kept a 100-year tradition alive today by throwing out the first pitch in Washington at the Nationals home opener against the Phillies. The pitch was high and wide, but he avoided the dreaded presidential bounce. Associated Press reported many more cheers than boos. Apparel-wise, you'll note he split the difference, wearing their jacket and a Chicago White Sox hat because your team is your team, after all. Then there's the other part of being president this time of year, the annual White House Easter egg roll. The theme this year was physical fitness. Not surprising, given that it's the First Lady's cause, but not exactly in keeping with the traditional season of chocolate bunnies. And there is a new book out on how Barack Obama got the job in the first place. The book is called The Bridge. It's written by David Remnick, a veteran journalist and author who is the editor of the New Yorker magazine. There are a lot of first-time ever reported details in the book in which Remnick charts Obama's unlikely rise to the White House, especially where race is concerned, and finds him to be a unique product of his times. Tonight, author David Remnick in his own words.
There are a lot of American characters, no matter what the field, who make themselves, who create themselves out of what's in the cultural air. It's a very American thing, whether it's Muhammad Ali or Walt Whitman or Annie Oakley. And Barack Obama is somebody who grew up in Honolulu and had to learn how to be African American in the absence of African Americans. Racial identity is a drama that Obama had to undergo long after he had become comfortable with his own identity. Now he had to play it out in public, in politics. Remember, this is a guy who in 2004 goes to the Democratic Convention in Boston and delivers an electrifying speech that makes him a national figure, maybe a world figure. And when he gets to Logan Airport a couple of days later, he's pulled aside for extra examination at the security line. He's racially profiled, and his campaign manager says, you know, what's going on? And Obama says, dude, he really said it, dude, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. I've gone through this all my life. So while he may have not gone through the trials and tribulations of the civil rights generation, he knows what it is to be African American in this country, even at this late date. Race is the longest and most painful drama this country has known. So the election of Barack Obama does not end that, does not solve every ill where race is concerned. Far from it. But it was an enormous bridge to the future that was uplifting to, I think, many, many people who didn't even agree with him politically.
By the way, there's more of our interview with New Yorker editor and author David Remnick. It's on our website, nightly.msnbc.com. When we come back, meet the Bulldogs, a.k.a. the little engine that could.